Hey guys, thanks for joining me. Captain Kurt here. Hey, I want to address something. The other day we made a video, actually it was 2 days ago, we made a video where we had a brand new fresh breeze come in, and we had another student that came in that didn't get equipment from us. He ended up buying a trike from us, and of course if you buy any one piece of equipment from us, you get unlimited training for life, forever, not only for you but also for your friends and or your family members as well. And that's going to save you $3,500, and most of these guys that are charging that only give you 7 to 10 days of training. We charge nothing for the training. We don't jack up the cost of the equipment. In fact, we sell $1,000 less than the distributor. So it truly is free training. We didn't cover it in the training, in the cost of the equipment. And most equipment is more expensive, and especially when you add in their training costs, you've spent thousands of dollars more than you had to, and you're missing out on a piece of equipment that has over 1.5 dozen features that are not found on any other brand. But the specific feature, I got after I made this video the other day of where I was comparing the Blackhawk to the Fresh Breeze, and both of them were brand new, both of them were out of the box, and if you go see that video, you'll understand what I'm talking about. The Fresh Breezes start right out of the box, fresh from Germany, on the first pull. Their high energy ignition systems, their internal decompression systems, our onboard CDI computer for digital auto advanced timing, and a whole list of other things that are not found on any other brand you look at. And so you're not going to pay more for that. It's just on a Fresh Breeze. It's not on the other brands. You'll pay the same or more, but you won't have them. And every one of these things has made them more dependable, and they've also made them easier to start and just longer lasting from the bearings and everything. But the one thing I wanted to address is after I made this video, some guy wrote in an email, and he was just livid. I mean, cussing in the email and saying all this stuff to me, like, and then he kept rambling on about why is the gas tank at the top? That's so dangerous. I would never own a Fresh Breeze. That's so stupid. And it was blankety blank. And I mean, I'm like, wow, who's this guy? All right, so if you're out there watching this video, if you're a subscriber of mine and you were all pissed off because we made that video, I wasn't there to piss you off. We're just trying to show you the quality of the equipment. So, take a chill pill, brother. Simmer down a little bit. I'm going to show you why this gas tank's mounted at the top. First of all, with the diaphragm carburetors and the other brands out there that mount their tank at the bottom, they now have to get that fuel uphill. Okay, it's got to get up there. So a lot of them have a fuel pump. They have a primer bulb to get the fuel started, and some of them have a fuel pump to keep it running, and then the diaphragm, which is a piece of rubber inside the carburetor that flexes as the motor's running, keeps the fuel coming into the motor to keep it running. So there's 3 things that can go wrong: the fuel pump, the primer bulb, the diaphragm, and the more hoses and the more things you got like that, the more that goes wrong. Not only on starting, but to keep running. When you're 5 miles from home doing a flight, you're going to have to land somewhere. How do I know this? Because I've owned and flown every brand out there. I owned 11 different brands before I discovered Fresh Breeze, and I literally became a dealer with them because of the quality of this product, and I haven't found anything better. I don't do this for a living, so I'm not motivated by being the manufacturer of Fresh Breeze. They're made in Germany, and this is what I do for a living. I have other companies that I own, and I just went through such a nightmare with the other ones. And one of the big problems was not only were they always breaking on me and motors seizing up and different things happening, they were always hard to start. One day they'd work perfect. The next time, I couldn't even get it running. You prime it too much, it's flooded. You got to take the plug out. You got to wrench it. Meanwhile, everybody else is flying. And so with a float bowl carburetor, you put the choke on, you pull the cord, it dispenses the right amount of fuel into the intake of the motor. We have gravity here. It's always there. The Germans said, why not use gravity? We don't need a fuel pump now that can go bad or quit on us in flight. We don't need a primer bulb to try to get it uphill. And we don't need diaphragms to pump it in. Not that it doesn't always work. It just will fail, and they do fail from time to time. The rubber on the pumps gets dry rotted, air leaks in, you get bubbles in it. I mean, it's a nightmare. You guys that have this stuff are going through this. You know exactly what I'm talking about because I went through it. And you can't tell me that that's not real. So we've eliminated all these problems by putting the tank at the top. And then this numbnut guy, in all of his cursing and his ranting, went off on me and said how ridiculously stupid I was. that I would fly something that has a tank on the top, because if it ever got a leak, I could burst into flames and catch on fire. I wonder what we're going to do about the millions and millions and millions of motorcycles out there that we're going to have to recall because the tank is mounted directly above the engine. Think it through, numbnut. Come on. You're being ridiculous, and there's no reason to cuss at me just because I'm pointing out the difference in the quality equipment. You need to chill out. Get in your Bible and read a little bit, will you? My God, simmer down a little bit. We're just trying to show people so they don't make the mistakes in buying equipment and they can see the difference in the quality of it. It's kind of like Consumer Reports. You don't call and cuss them out, do you? They make product information about everything out there. I'm just doing product information, so just relax. Nobody's trying to piss anybody off, but at the same token, I don't want people to buy a product and waste their money when they could have had a Fresh Breeze for less money and had more features, and then on top of it get unlimited training. This is why we've grown to 1,244 students at the making of this video, and we have a flawless safety record. There's no price tag, there's no time limit on the safety. We train your entire family so you don't have to train them. We don't want you to skip the training, so you can keep the thousands of dollars that they're going to charge you for 7 to 10 days of training, and you can come to us and we'll give you unlimited training. You can see our other videos where we train entire families how to fly, and we believe that's the key to our safety record. And also we pray with our students, and we got criticized about that in the email as well. So anyways, this is why we do it. The other thing I want to point out to you about, a lot of times when the other ones take a hit, and somebody sits down, they lift their feet on takeoff, they come down, they hit the lower part of the cage, and it pushes the propeller into their gas tank that's down there. Because some of their gas tanks stick too far out. Now, if you put a nice flat gas tank, sometimes the propeller doesn't reach, but in many cases, Black Hawk and some of the other ones out there, the propeller has struck the gas tank on a sit down. And in powered paragliding, foot launching, prop strikes are a way of life. In the first year, you will break 3 to 4 sets of them. The only way to avoid that is a trike. You just don't trip and fall and break them. But when you have a hard landing and the motor's running, or you on takeoff, you slip and fall, that propeller, and many times, has ruptured the gas tank. Now that is dangerous, because you got gas going everywhere. Not that it's going to start a fire. And in another video we had a long time ago, and I wish should have kept it up, somebody was crying, and I said, well, okay. But I heard this before from one of our competitors, that having the gas tank at the top is dangerous, and I had to kind of straighten him out on the idea of, like, every motorcycle in America, the millions and millions of motorcycles have that, or your lawnmower for that matter. And what I did was to prove a point. I got the engine good and hot, and I took a big can, almost a gallon of gasoline, and I dumped it over the hot motor by letting it pour all over the gas tank, and it never even makes it to the motor. Because if you get a leak in this, let's say it's a pencil-sized leak, my gosh, it's never even going to it never makes it down to the motor, which is underneath and inverted. It sucks right through the propeller that keeps running until it gets past the hole and stops leaking. So think about it, think it through, and you usually need a spark to start it, and with so much air rushing through this from a propeller that's spinning 500 miles an hour, it just vaporized the fuel. When I dumped that gallon of gasoline on it for the video, it just literally vaporized it and killed my lawn for about 50 feet out. Somebody whined about that I was, dumping hazardous material onto the lawn, so we took it down. And I wish I wouldn't have, because you know what, it kind of proved a point. But anyways, I hope that answers your question. I'm sorry you're so pissed about that, and if the competitors are telling you that a Fresh Breeze is dangerous, it's only because they don't want you to know what this machine has. And on my other video, it talks about this powered paraglider scam warnings equipment. You need to watch that one, because it's going to go through every feature from the cage to every part of this until there's no parts left. And when you compare it to the other ones, you're going to see all of the things you're missing. The other guys hate that. We got a lot of trolls. We got a lot of haters. Flightjunkies is the biggest powered paragliding group in the world. We have students in every state. We have 1,244 students. That's the biggest powered paragliding group in the world. And then we also have people in Japan, Dubai, England, Australia, South Africa. This year we added Denmark. We have people all over the world that come here for training, and some I take to instructor level for other countries. So unlimited training. Let me know what I can do for you. If you have any problems with this video, sorry. If you bought another brand, I'm sorry. And we'll still train you. We still love you. We're not mad at you. So you don't have to be mad at us. It wasn't to piss you off. It was just to warn you about the difference in the quality of the equipment, just like Consumer Reports does. They compare products. That's all we're doing. So thanks for joining me. I'm Captain Kurt. I hope that answers your questions. Have a great day.